There we go.
Yeah, welcome everybody. This is the third meeting of Littlefish, and today we will talk about new member introductions, the proposals and the donations. We will have the votings on the 13th of January, and we will talk about the direct donations framework afterwards. And I think we should need some social engagement, and we need to talk about it. So the newcomers, welcome then. Can you introduce yourself for a little bit?
Yeah, sure. So my name is Dan Manning. I'm living in just outside of Birmingham, Alabama, the United States. I had a great conversation on Friday with Sebastian, and he told me about Littlefish and the work that you're doing. I've, or I guess now that we're doing, since I joined. So I'm also starting up a few other DAOs that are related and also focused on a nonprofit type of approach. And I'm really interested in the way that people interact to form these. So I'm really excited to be here at the beginning and to be able to support such a great mission. And it also overlaps with some academic work that I've done in the area of international development. And I think it's just a great fit. I'm glad to be here and be a part of the community. So thanks for welcoming me.
Welcome.
Welcome. Sorry about the noise. I think it's my fan that's making the noise. I don't know how bad it is from your side.
I think if you mute yourself in between, I think it's all right. No one agrees?
Yeah. So, Brian, you were talking about the project. Can you send the links about the Discord channel? So
sure, I'll put it in the chat. I'll put it in the chat.
Also, Ryan, if there's any way for us to apply for the project from here, because the Sri Lankan land is also available. So if there's any way if there's some sort of application process and whatnot that is needed, I can submit all the relevant.
Okay, it's not as much going to be a funding mechanism as an experiment in how we begin to represent life, I guess you'd say, on blockchain, and being how we represent land and how we represent the resources and the people interacting with that land. You know, in a regenerative, sustainable manner. And I'm sure there will be some funding for practices that benefit the land and maybe even a carbon market attached to it at some point. But we need to just figure out how we do that in a way that is transparent and on chain.
Understood. But what does it mean specifically in terms of what needs to be done at the land itself, so that I get a clear picture as to what we need to be doing? Because
Perfect.
I'm the only one who understands, and I understand about 1% of what needs to be understood. So at least that 1% is a little more than everybody else here, but nobody else here understands. Nobody else, as far as my the land here and the people who be working it here. So I need to get that additional 99% to some extent to try to explain it to
I want to say something. So it's a Littlefish meeting now. So let's leave the regenerative agriculture. We are going to have, Dimitri, another call specifically about that. And we are going to design how we are going to do what we need for the project. We're going to have it on Thursday or Friday this week. And then we are going to define what is needed, what's the framework we are building for this type of a project. So I just don't want to take the time from Littlefish today.
Yeah, that's good.
That's the focus for this meeting. And the rest doesn't know what we are talking about. So, we will announce when we are setting up. Join us to the next meeting, please, to discuss it. Please, James, sorry, it's your...
You're welcome. You're welcome. here on the chat, you can see the proposals and the donations. Just now we received a total of 207 ADA, and this is great. Thank you, everyone. So can you read the proposals? Would you like to check them and talk about it a little bit?
Sorry, Jem, what did you say? Sorry, you want to speak about the proposals?
Yeah. Were you able to check the proposals so we can talk about them? Or we
Where
can
is the link for that?
on the chat.
Okay, the first one. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So how many proposals we have?
Right now we have 8 proposals.
Perfect.
The amount needed column, F column, is that ADA, US dollars? What is that denomination?
ADA.
Cool. Maybe write that in just to be clear. I just
Yeah,
so used to US dollars in Catalyst. I know that's kind of
Yeah,
it should be obvious that it should be obvious that it's ADA, but maybe
yeah,
it's
it's
innocent.
automatically generated by Google Forms. So I will tidy them up when we finish taking the proposals. And this week we plan to show the proposals on the website, littlefish.foundation.
Nice logo, by the way.
Yeah, thank you.
I don't see the one about the food waste for animal pet food. Is
Oh,
that
really?
missing? Or is it maybe a miss? Oh, there it is. Never mind. It's row 4. Dimitri's.
Number 4.
Yeah, there you are, Dimitri.
Okay. Yeah.
That's the same Dimitri?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Number of cookers purchased is number 4. Raw amount of waste processed. Yeah. Yeah. What my one suggestion that I will suggest for the next round is that when we speak about impact per 1,000 ADA, I would love to say what people said. Okay, with 1,000 ADA, this is what we will do. Or with 100 ADA, we can buy this, and this. I mean, like to have, not to say in general what the impact will be, but to say specifically what the expected impact. With 1,000 ADA, we will plant 1,000 trees, right? For example, with very tree. It's very, very specific impact that you can follow. It's not a general say, okay, with 1,000 ADA, we will plant trees. And then in the end of the 1 month, you have 200 trees. Right? So that's my one suggestion when I say, when we ask people to say the impact, to say specific impact, not a general one.
I think that's the difficulty with Project Catalyst as well, isn't it? Like, is having, it comes back to auditability. So we're going to give you 1,000 ADA. And how do we verify that you've actually done what you said you're going to do with it, or at least tried? I don't think it should be punitive either in case you didn't succeed. It should be like, at least give like some option for like saying why it didn't succeed, and even though it was done with best intentions or something like that. But at the very minimum, it should be, yeah, like Yoram was saying, there should be some, I hate calling them KPIs, but something measurable. I mean, I haven't really dug deep into like how litter coin actually works, but I don't know if there's a way of actually measuring how much litter is like by weight or by volume, or like, is there things like that, like for that Malawi pollution cleanup that they could use?
Yeah, exactly. So that's, what do you guys think? That's what my expectation at least from the process, but.
I mean, it might act, then I still
Sorry,
have to require them.
I think we can use KPIs. I mean, isn't that exactly what we're looking for?
Yeah, I just mean like it's such a business-like term, like, and but the the concept is what we're talking about. I agree, Shaman, like that's what we're saying. Like it's like something we can measure, right? Like, so, I mean, yeah, that's, if that's the term that everybody knows, then why not? But then for the waste one, for example, it might require them that they actually purchase a scale. So purchase a scale, you know, put the litter on the scale, take a picture of it, send it to us. Like we should start thinking about how we'd expect to audit, like how we do verification. That's obviously top of mind for me because that's the issue for us in Tridano.
Yeah, obviously measuring is like super important. Otherwise you don't know what progress you've made. Yeah.
And I think that's part of the value add.
How do I find proposals?
There's a section on Discord channel called KPIs. Can you please share your thoughts there so we can have something and we can start this channel also.
Perfect.
I click the pool.pm link and I'm trying to see whether that's the one that has the different proposals. Is that correct?
Yeah, I send a link for proposals and full PM is for the address where we collect donations.
And again, my apologies. I'm actually new to Littlefish. This is my very first Littlefish meeting as well. So, like, is there a process document somewhere that describes how projects will be approved? What the criteria is to choose one over another? Whether there's funding rounds?
Oh, actually, Chen, do you have a?
Yeah, we have the one pager. Did you read that one?
No. So my apologies.
Yeah, there is a simple one pager describing the first process. Then the idea that every week to improve for the next process, right? It's a monthly process. That's the first one.
That's on the website?
I put it in the chat.
Thanks.
So
sorry, yeah, you did share that. Sorry, I didn't read it. Yeah.
So this is the final day for proposal submission, and I think this is our first KPI, and we received 8 proposals. I think that's a very good result, and we have 6 days to still collect the donations. Right now we have 257 ADA. It's increasing.
I'm gonna send some right now. Oh, I gotta hook up my hardware wallet first.
I'm late.
Welcome.
No worries.
Dan, do you feel a little bit out of place? You don't have a snail background?
No, I didn't understand about the snail. Nobody told me, but now I know.
It just happens to be the image that, image that we connected to our first proposal, and we didn't get funded in Fund 6, but our challenge became a community, and here we are, slowly by slowly, multiplying, just working at this, you know, so it has become significant by accident almost.
Yeah, awesome.
Somewhere, do you have a little blurb somewhere explaining the significance or symbolism of the snail? Because I've wondered myself.
You want
smaller
one yourself?
but impactful.
No, I've wondered the significance of the snail. Like, does it, like, maybe there's something I'm missing, or what's the symbolism behind it? Like, is there like is there a little paragraph somewhere on the website that says what it's about?
We can create it as we go. What were you going to say, Simon?
Yes,
I think that's the whole point, because he said he was wondering about it.
Yeah, we say it on the video that we have. We move by the speed of snails.
That's part of it. You know, it becomes significant. We need to act now, but we're moving like the speed of snails. I think the significance of it keeps showing itself, though. As I see these snails show up on videos, it's like, yeah, we are multiplying. Snails multiply. They're not entirely bad. snails are a part of the ecosystem as well, and very, very crucial, but we kind of figure they're bad. This particular picture, Peter, just comes from my files on my phone. I've been taking some pictures, and I needed a picture for our proposal to draw attention to it rather than just words, and popped it in there, and it's just grown. It's taken off. And then the shape of a spiral, if you think about it too, you know, you start at the center and it grows out and grows and grows and grows. So there's so many different things. Plus I love Fibonacci, anything to do with spirals. So yeah. So if somebody can create a story out of that, what it is, who knows? Okay, I like that. See, and we can all play with the background for a little bit of fun.
I think we can add a link to that one.
Dan, are you in? Dan, are you in the Telegram chat? Sorry to make this so goofy, but
I'm not in Telegram.
Okay. Because we do have the image pinned in there. If you want it, we can get it to you. If you feel you're being left out.
I will download Telegram and join that chat though. Thank you.
Perfect.
And
I'm so sorry to interrupt.
Is there a discussion on the sustainability of these proposals? I mean, we may fund them, you know, for an amount immediately, but then if they dry up, if it's just a 1 month thing.
Yeah, it is.
How do we want to approach that? Do we have a metric to score them on that says what are doing for them?
We will analyze the proposals and the donations, and we will start to convert them to smart contracts. So next time, the people and the supporters and the activists will use a website, and they will directly support the proposals. And because of that, we wanted to have it by hand manually. So I think we are in the first stage of creating a DAO, and we will implement, I think, is it first or second? I don't know, but from now on, we will start to implement the DAO and the smart contracts. Hard work is coming.
And that would fund some of these for months at a time? That's what I'm more interested in. Like if we decide to fund one of these, I mean, they may need funding for more than X time period. And if we fund them, we may see a great return, KPIs, everything month one, but then if it dries up, you know, how do we want to address that, I guess?
Yeah,
I think this first, I think I have an answer for that. I think for the first cycle, it's only a one-time thing, but in the future, as you say, there may be times that we need to do more donations, consistent donations. Maybe we may need to do weekly donations, but at this point, it's only a one-time thing, I think.
Yeah, we are building the first cycle of donation. So we said instead of discussing it, let's do it and then discuss it while we do it, and build every week the white paper of how we want it to be.
Yeah, I think one of the return for this first proposal will be our visibility, actually. Just like Yoram shared his expectation regarding the measurability of the proposal, I have an expectation about the visibility, actually. So the person who get the funding should create a kind of visibility around the Littlefish organization, how he get or she get the funding, and you know, a kind of visibility will bring more people to Littlefish Foundation, and we will create a community, I guess. So of course, it's important to see real results, but I think the most important result for us will be, yes, Littlefish Foundation is here, out there, it's working. We are supporting people around activism and SDG related activism more specifically. And then it will just start from there. So of course, in the beginning, there might be some trust issues and we don't know actually how we are going to proceed it, and we will develop it all together with the issues that we are facing.
I mean, that was the purpose of the NFTs, right? I think we discussed that every person that gets funded, we were going to give them an NFT representing that, and people that donate also. So the NFTs would be like the propagation tool.
Yeah.
I wanted to bring one more thing up because I think that was like my key takeaway last meeting was that we want to, and also I think it's interesting for the people, especially for the people that are new here, that we don't want people to have to donate for every cause again and again, but we want to have a treasury that we can invest in, for example, a stake pool, and then pay that from the returns into the activism.
Yeah.
How do we create sustainability and funding? And with that, then maybe that comes with the sustainability of the projects. The other thing that I've been thinking about since our last meeting was Kiva. And Kiva is, rather than a donation, it's a loan. So we're approaching this, it feels like we're approaching it as a donation, that we don't see any return on it. Is there going to be an element where we have an expectation of coming back? And we know that that money coming back, the ADA coming back, is going into this treasury and going back out and serving more people. It's not for profit. So have we got that element figured out? Because then that's more like the Kiva model, in my opinion.
Yeah, so Kiva is a loan, but with no interest, right? So it's zero interest loan to entrepreneurs. So you basically loan to entrepreneurs and you are not guaranteed that they will pay you back, right? So
yeah, no payback, it's a donation, and it's not the big thing, but that would also create more sustainability in the funding. And it also creates connection to the project as well. It's not, I'm in here to grab some money and go and do my thing, but I'm part of this project, in this growing project, and part of this movement.
yeah, but this is where Kiva supports entrepreneurs that use the money to generate more money, and this way they can pay back, right? So this is why we said if we can put it in a stake pool and use the rewards, or if we get NFTs that will have value, so we'll have some value back.
Yeah, we said that we will have both version, I guess. In the beginning, we will just focus on donation. This is the first cycle. But I'm curious about the Kiva model. For example, if the entrepreneur fails and if he needs more time to earn the money back. So how the system works actually, Yoram? You have more experience.
So the way, the theoretical way is that if the entrepreneur fails, you don't get the money back. But the real way it's operating, Kiva operates, the real way is while you feel you are giving directly money to an entrepreneur, let's say a lady in Peru, you are not actually giving her directly loan, okay? You are giving the loan to Kiva, which give it to a local bank, which manage few thousand entrepreneurs in Peru. So if one of them fail, it doesn't matter. You still manage to get the money. And the local bank charge them quite high percentage, 25%, 30% interest, okay? And this is why if someone fails, he's able still to balance with others. So only in the case, if a lot of people fails, the local bank cannot give back the money to Kiva and they cannot give back to you. And I shared with you one letter I got about that one local bank failed and I didn't get some of my money. Okay, but it happened, but in 10 years, it's happened very rarely. Doesn't happen very often. So that's the way it's open. So it's not at all decentralized. You don't at all give to someone directly. You give to a pool, and this pool managed by go to Kiva, go to the bank, and so on. And we wanted to do all of that, but much more directly, without all the directly to the people that need.
So in fact, our stake pool would be the bank. That's
Yeah.
our treasury becomes the bank, and the smart contract is how it's decentralized.
The only thing that we decentralize in two ways. First of all, that we decide to give directly to someone. And second, that we can propose proposals. In Kiva, we cannot propose proposals. And the bank, I mean, it's not the same, because if we give the rewards, so we know that the treasury is kept, right? It's safe. In Kiva, you don't know that the treasury is safe. Here, we know the treasury is safe, and we just give the rewards to a donation of choice.
And for the lending also, we will use stake pool operation. So we will keep the base amount intact, and we will use the profit that came out from stake pool. And I think so. It will be much more than the interest rate of the United States dollar, and we will keep the base money here. And this. The supporters can be able to take their money whenever they want.
Okay, then this should be our, I think, in our principle. For example, so far, all the funders who supporters should know that in the future, if even they support us to get more stake in our stake pool, and if they can support somehow us, they have the chance to get their money back. So that's a kind of win-win relation again. We can provide the sustainability in that way. Because in current situation, we are not able to make that much money that we have. Let's say that we collected 2,000, we have given 1,000, and we have only 1,000, and that will give us 5% in a year with stake. And if we make our stake pool run in maybe 2 months, 3 months, I don't know, and then it will need big whales to support us for minting, actually, right? So we should all collaborate in that kind of thing, so everyone can get their money back.
Yeah. So Dan, you made a
but we should write it somewhere, I guess.
Yeah.
We should write this plan. So yeah, sorry, Melanie.
Sorry, Uzgar, it's the lapse in time. Dan, you made a comment about microfinancing. Can you speak to that a little bit more? The default?
I was just, you were mentioning that if the entrepreneur doesn't pay back the loan, then you lose the money. But traditionally, the microfinance default rates are very, very low. Usually, certainly less than 5%, and much lower than typical lending. But one of the reasons that it stays low is because there's this person-to-person relationship between the person who's giving the money and the person that's receiving the money. So it's not a big faceless entity that you're paying back to. It's an individual, and your personal reputation is on the line for that as well. So microfinance can be really powerful, but it'll be interesting to see how we're able to maintain a person-to-person contact in some way that you get the benefits as well.
Yeah, so I think we have person-to-person. This is what kind of person-to-person we have. I think the challenge with microfinance, if I may a little bit, is that the interest is very, very high to manage this on the ground normally, to manage this face-to-face. Yeah, and they provide microfinance normally also for entrepreneurs or for local entrepreneurs or for some finance of things. But microfinance is very interesting. I think the traceability of impact of microfinance is also something that is missing. We speak about direct KPIs. How many people that get microfinance actually improve their lives? It's a good question. But I don't know, again, I mean, I think microfinance is incredible. It changed the world in many ways. I just know a lot of banks here in Geneva that give microfinance money. And this is the problems they raise, that they don't know the real impact. And they all make money here in Geneva. But it's not where they need to make money. But anyway, it's an incredible process, and yeah.
Peter, you got your hand up.
Yeah, I was just curious whether we do have the person to person, because I think that's an important point Dan's making about the success of projects like Kiva. And my understanding is that Kiva actually has on the ground people that like directly, there is face-to-face interaction, right? And I mean, we have that by proxy through Zoom maybe, and maybe, because again, it's not going to be scalable for us, this kind of small community, to have on the ground representatives. So, but how
Kiva doesn't have it. Kiva is partnering with local banks that have the local relationship with
so
the
there's
people.
still, but there's still somewhere they have to like actually go face to face to get the money and report on things, right? Like there's, so that's the part I'm talking about. We don't actually have that because, and what I like about what Dan's saying is a one-to-one, like I guess you would have a bank manager, like that actual one unique person, not like an organization, not like and I think that is a kind of a safeguard for preventing fraud or people defaulting. I think if people, especially people that need the money, they are motivated to show that they're trustworthy because they're so desperate to take the money and do something with it that they really value that relationship and don't want to risk it. I think that's, for me personally, that's how I interpret the success of microfinance, and that it's going to the people that really need it most and otherwise don't have access to this kind of thing. And so that kind of relationship is valued even more, and they're less willing to even risk that. If I default on a loan here in Canada, I can get a loan from somebody else. But if you screw up your microfinance once in the system like this, you could close the door to your financial mobility altogether. So I'm just throwing this out there as a way to like brainstorm how we could represent that in our system. And one way to do it would be to have actual project managers to say, okay, this person is the liaison for this loan, right? And then I do want to circle back to what got me involved today was, and yesterday was a couple of projects that caught my eye in the Cardano for Climate Telegram group. And I was like, and somebody was like, here's some money. I'm like, yeah, I would like to donate that out as well. And then somebody suggested, why don't you route it through Littlefish? And I was like, yeah, okay. But then how do I make sure that that money is earmarked for the project that I want? But now sitting on this meeting today, I'm thinking twice about that model. Like, is that really something that we do want? Because that would seem like a way to just subvert everything that we're setting up. Like, not subvert might be the wrong word, but I don't mean like in a cynical way, but like to get around like this idea of the group actually rating and ranking projects and saying these ones are worthy, these ones aren't, for whatever good reason we have. And so maybe I just want to throw it out there. Maybe we should, Jem could consider or talk about the rationale for why we would or wouldn't be able to allow to earmark specific projects.
If you think of microfinance, then we should have KYC for that one, such as Atala Prism. So I think we should separate the donations and microfinance. And we should think about if we will offer microfinance or not.
If I understood that correct, someone was going to give the money directly to someone who was going to do something on the ground, right? I mean, I think that is like, if you have a personal relationship to someone on the ground who is doing that and you know the person, I think it shouldn't be routed through Littlefish, because like, what's the point, as you pointed out? But I guess if you have some money and you wanna support that and you don't know someone like personally on the ground, then I think that is more what we're trying to do.
Well,
see that right?
Sorry, I think so. First of all, I think maybe there was two good things to separate what I just heard Jem say, is that there's donations and there's microfinancing, and I guess those are two separate things, right? Donation means like, here you go, the money's yours, you don't have to pay it back. And microfinancing is that it's a loan and you're going to have to pay it back, and here's the terms for when and how you pay it back. So maybe we should clarify what Littlefish is. Is it like microfinancing? Is it donations? Is it both?
No, to what you said before, Peter, first of all, I think if we put another person, then there is interest there, right? That's the challenge with a little bit with micro. So today, traditionally in microfinance, there are 25, 30, 40, 50% interest on the money.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's nuts. And because the local banks need to manage, there is cost with meeting face-to-face and managing all of the process. Yeah. Okay, so our model, again, which is described in the one-pager, was if community members suggest, to start with, if the community members suggest, exactly like Sean suggested something, or like Dimitri suggested projects. So it's people that are part of the community that we trust them. This is how we start the process, right? So this is the intermediate to the project. It's Dimitri or Sean or Peter or Simon or Melanie or everyone else that know a project, okay? So that's one, especially in the small amounts, but definitely how we trust project every day, how we control projects, how we control the impact, all of that, as we scale, need to be much better developed.
My worry too with using the Telegram chat to just add a wallet and ask for donations is it's a little bit, I don't know, I don't like the feeling of that. And so Pike and Dimitri, Pike didn't know any different, and Sean jumps in and it's like, okay, who would have ever expected this to happen? At this point, that Sean would come along and say, hey, there's this great guy, Pike, I'm donating to him. Let's do this through the channel. I would have never expected it. Now that we've seen it, it's like, okay, let's try and shift this towards the Littlefish Foundation. That way we can measure it. We can not so much control it, but we can, there's a process that we're trying to work on to make this make sense and have traceable impact, verifiability. We don't want to be just known as another chat where you can scam everybody and grab some money. That's not the purpose of this. So interesting experience. So to wake up this morning and see that, go, wouldn't have expected that.
Yeah, so you're just describing my journey through that, because I was like, oh, I want to support this. It sounds great. And then I forget, sorry, I got so many channels going at the same time, I forget who said what, but basically what Melanie said, I just went through that process, and I've just now made my donation to Littlefish instead. And I'd rather have, and this is part of the power, is like, you know what, I want us to figure it out. I don't have to figure it out by myself. So I trust the group more than I trust myself.
Yeah, and it's a great opportunity.
Yeah, just if I add it from my perspective, last week when you all introduced this concept, that's why I straight away thought it's a good idea. I put the proposal, I think, on the same day while we were having that first meeting, right? Last Monday. So then today, when I saw the same thing, I didn't think of doing anything like that last week, but I thought, okay, maybe now this is okay, fine. So then I'll add my one as well. So there is no like a malicious motive or whatever behind, but I thought, okay, now this is a new thing that is happening. So why not put my number as well? Because I didn't even know that it's okay to just add numbers like that. So Melanie, I think, was the one who said, I can't remember, the worst thing that can happen is somebody can give you some ADA. So I thought, what the heck, might as well. So anyway, if it's not cool, by all means remove, but I that's the only reason why I put it there.
We're learning by doing, and there's absolutely no mistake in this. It would be like, there's no wrong question. We learn by doing. Project-based learning. Dimitri, I'm so glad that you jumped in and did it. So you could have held back, and then we wouldn't have had this experience. It's a very safe place to experiment, and absolutely love your enthusiasm with the projects that you're going on with. You're somebody I constantly talk about in my other conversations. So thank you for that. And sorry if there's any kind of misunderstanding. Mm-hmm.
No, nothing on my part. I would also like you guys to, whether or not I get funded, just look at my Facebook page, because I've been adding pictures since I saw 2 people had looked at it. I felt bad because there had been nothing on it. So whoever looked at it could have been wondering, you know, who is this guy? Is he actually doing anything? So I thought, no, must add some of the pictures. And in fact, you can see me also and my vehicle in some of the pictures. If you can see a blue, like a blue vehicle on the side, that is me, that is my pickup. So next time I thought must take some pictures of me on the process of distributing, if not the actual beneficiaries, because I personally don't like taking pictures of beneficiaries. I don't mind taking pictures of the food and the people packing the food and getting ready to go, but I don't like to take pictures of beneficiaries. Some other people have a different opinion, but I personally don't like that. Even with their permission, I don't feel that's necessarily right unless they expressly are okay with you know, putting it on social media. Even the surprising thing is even the people on the street, they don't like, they know of Facebook. I mean, even the guy who has no home, they say, Madam or Sir, don't put this thing on Facebook. So I said, that's fine. I don't want to put it on Facebook.
Yeah, so that's
we are here to give you something to eat, not to publicize it.
Yeah, we're working on how do we verify projects. You know, that's going to be an important piece of this. And Dimitri, you're kind of navigating that through Facebook and trying to figure out how do we deal with, how do you prove that you're actually doing what you're doing because we're online. I think the fact though that we have these relationships with each other, that you've been around and you know, you don't come and go, it's different. That can't be the way we go all the time, but I don't know, we're figuring this stuff out.
Yeah, I mean, it's a start. I mean, if there is a practical way to track it while not compromising their own dignity, by all means. But at the moment, taking photographs of each and every person receiving the package just won't fly because it's not nice. I don't think so.
I think that's a really important point. Like,
yeah. And just put that in your representation of your work too, right? That this is an issue, and then we all learn from it. It's all open source, and we can figure this out as well. And then maybe there will be the odd person that can do it.
I think like there should be some kind of, I don't know, there's a code of conduct or something like that, but like saying, you know, beneficiaries of donations need to have permission for because there is that kind of very patronizing thing, right? But one thing I did want to say, Dimitri, is like the animals that you're feeding, we'd love to see pictures of that, and that would only help. People love seeing animals, so
yeah, of course.
That I would suggest.
Of course, the permission to be sought from the animal shelters sometimes, but of course, the street animals, by all means, I can take their pictures without their permission.
Yeah, because you're doing great work there. Okay, I gotta run. Sorry, guys. Great meeting. Talk to you all. See you online.
Okay, see you.
And Jim, did you have an agenda? Sorry, I'm sorry I was late.
You're welcome. We will talk about the direct donations framework. So if we will have the direct donations, so we don't need to think about the KYC and approving the donations and other stuff. So think of it as like that. YouTube influencer can put a button there, and he can request donations by Littlefish. So what is his benefit? He will get the NFTs, and he will get the tokens, and this will be recorded, and at the end he will get an anonymous social identity. So we will need it everywhere in Metaverse, in Web3, and I think this will be a very important concern in the following years. So if we want to be anonymous on the net, and we need an identity, the Littlefish will show them what are they doing. Because of that, I think we should use Littlefish, and we should forward the donations or the exchanges between people, so we can track everything and we can rate them. We can have NFTs, and those NFTs will be valuable on the following years. So for the general public donations, we can think of stateful operation and other stuff. So mainly, I think we should have the direct donations to the proposals. What do you think?
So you're suggesting
Yeah.
that we pick the proposal we want to donate to?
Yeah. For the not for this time, for the next cycle, we should have a web page. So we are implementing it with Chakan, and we will have a web page. They will have the short links for their proposals, and they will put that in social pages, and people will come to the web page and they will make direct donations instantly. So they will receive the money instantly also. And we will take some fees for charity, for the developers, and for other stuff. I don't know, that we didn't design the tokenomics yet.
Sounds good, because that's exactly like Kiva. You know, you're going through the different proposals and you decide, I feel like I need to support.
Yeah, maybe we can have a map of the proposals and people can select it, and it will turn into a game later.
And then one person can do multiple supports, because he might like multiple projects. He might like to put more to one project, less to another project, so on and so forth. So it's a good idea.
Yeah. Also, he can donate, he can lend, and he can stake. There are lots of options.
Yes,
One thing
that's what I wanted. Sorry.
Excuse me. I just wanted to clarify Jam's idea, because it's not so much yet clear to me. Can I share my screen? I want to share the mirror board with you because I added something there. Do you see my screen?
Yes.
So I just included that because this was, I guess, missing based on our conversation. These gains can be returned to the lenders in case they want to lend. And what I understand from Jam's notification now, so we will mostly manage this lenders section. We will get the funding in our system to manage lending actually. But for donations, we will just have the profiles of the proposers and people can directly send donations to those people, right? So we will, and in the beginning, this is just the donation. We will test it out, but later on, we will not manage donations basically. We can just record all these transactions, but we will not basically manage this donation section. Is it what you said, Chan?
Yes, similar. So let me explain. There will be instant donations on the top. You can show it.
Donations here.
Yeah,
I have a small point here as someone who would want to be a beneficiary. So as a beneficiary, if I have a particular amount that I need for my project, and the donations that come through don't amount to that project, that amount, then how would I be held accountable for achievements or KPIs or whatever it might be? Because I mean, the level that I have received is not even the minimum for the project. So at that point, I would need to wait until the minimum amount is received to even start the project. So that's one point from the beneficiary's point that would be have to be considered.
Dimitri, I think the donation one is just based on the trust. So if someone wants to trust you, if someone trusts you, they just donate. We shouldn't be managing this this part. But in case, because we are using the money ADA for staking, in the case of lending, we should manage this legitimacy. But in those cases of funding, as part of the donations. I think it's based on the trust and people just give away. It's also possible.
Okay, right, got it. Thank you.
And speaking to your point of not having, needing the 1,000 ADA to begin your project, that may have to be something that comes up with the proposer and going, it's all or nothing. I need this amount to start or I can't start. And if we don't, it comes out in Project Catalyst, very similar to that. The funding comes through and you end up picking the one where the budget matches the requested amount. So I don't know that there would be a point where you would get less in this case. Maybe there's a point where you address it and say, okay, can you work with us? And then maybe the proposer would have to have multiple layers of KPIs. This is how much I can do with 200 ADA. This is the next stage with 400, 800, 1,000.
Yeah, I understood it as though there was not going to be an award per se, but it was only going to be based on donations. That's how I understood it. So in that scenario only would it be where even with a lesser amount, we would need to know what we could do with it and prove that in the document as well.
Yeah.
One other thing I thought about with the lending is, we're geared towards capitalism. I gave you this dollar, I expect that dollar back. Is there a way that we can start changing that paradigm to think about impact, that the paying back of this proposal is coming back in different ways other than direct ADA? It doesn't really help the Treasury, but maybe there's some, we're talking about carbon credits, SDG impact, but maybe we can start shifting that. I'm even thinking about a proposer getting funding and connecting with somebody who donates to our Treasury. How do we track that? Because that connector has just contributed to our overall ecosystem. So we tend to think that, it's the dollars going back and forth, but there's so many other things that have value that we haven't met yet. So I'm wondering if that's going to be covered, or we can think about that.
I think we can. So I think we should separate the donations and the recurring donations and instant donations. So we can do it by that way. So on the top, you can show it as, yes, here.
Here, this one?
Yeah.
Instant donations, yeah.
The instant donations will be helped by putting a button, and the proposals will have a short link for the proposal, and they will show donate with Littlefish button. So they can put it on Instagram, YouTube, and other social media. So they will have the donations here with Littlefish transparently, and they will receive the tokens and the NFTs, so they can sell the NFTs afterwards. And by that way, we will also collect some of the fees from the instant donations, and we will have the recurring donations on the down side below. And for the recurring donations, we should have some rating system, and the people will have their NFTs, medals, and badges. So the supporters will decide based on that rating system if they will donate or vote for the recurring donations. In the first place, I think we plan like that. What do you think?
Yeah. Instant donations.
Look, my biggest concern always when we start something is, but that's my personal opinion, is keep it very simple and then scale, because somehow we need to find what the simple way to start, because if we start adding different options and many options, it will be complicated and complicated, and because we need to communicate very simple way, right? Kiva is very, very simple in terms of communication. Then they do something else in the background, but you can support with any amount entrepreneurs in developing countries. That's it, right? And they scale for whatever, $1 billion a year lending.
Yeah,
So I'm always concerned when we, at this stage, especially in early stage, when we add many options of things. That's my personal experience, but
you're right, Joran. So I offer to start with direct donations, if you all agree. So we can start implementing it with the smart contracts.
Yeah, that can be interesting actually. So people feel in control of what they do, control on their money. I decide to donate directly to this project. I read it on Littlefish. The project was vetted by one of the members. And just like Peter wanted to give now direct to and Sean, we would be able to do it directly. Yeah, it makes sense if it makes sense to everyone. And then we don't have the voting and all of that, right, of the money. We don't need the voting. People come in whenever they want, and they just donate to the project they want.
Yeah, and also we should start collecting some fees in that case.
Yeah, some we can.
If you all agree, we can start this one.
You can do some fees, and you can give it open to people to say, I want to give donation also to Littlefish to operate. This is also how Kiva is doing it.
Yeah. Okay.
So either you say I take 5% goes for the operation of this. Either you say, okay, would you be kind to also give some money to the system?
Yeah, good idea. Okay.
Yeah, I think I had when you said that, Melanie, had the same thought as Yoram. Keep it simple. I think. Yeah, but I mean, we should write it down somewhere, right? Just so in the future it doesn't get lost. And also, I think like there's the notion of reoccurring donations, and then the other thing was putting the money to work. Maybe we should, maybe that we should kind of A/B test and see which makes more sense, or what is like how long does it take for putting the money to work to be better than reoccurring investing or something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
So the two options right now are direct deposit and deposit to a treasury. And the treasury will eventually go into a stake pool to generate interest. Littlefish has control of that. Now, okay, I'm sorry, I'm complicating it again. Eventually you're going to make a stake pool, which means that I can actually donate or stake my ADA to that stake pool and donate the rewards directly to Kiva. I have control of my funds in that case. So that would be the other layer where it says that I don't want to just donate money because I can't afford it, but I want to put my ADA to work for this. So that would be the other simple layer, I hope.
Yeah, it's correct. So we will first implement direct donations, and afterwards we will have stake pool. And for the third phase, we will decide, I think, to collect general funding.
We have direct donations to the project, to the people on the ground. Then we have basically donations to the stake pool or staking to the stake pool.
staking to the stake pool.
Oh, I see. All right.
How is it?
So the 3,000 ADA to start the stake pool, is that coming from somebody? Is it coming from the foundation? Are we part of that? Can we contribute to that?
This is the subject of Catalyst voting. I think on 13th of this month we will have the voting, and I think we can collect some amount from there, so we can use it for creating the stake pool, and we don't need to add any amounts.
Yeah.
One thing there, remember that Catalyst doesn't give all of the funds all at once. They create payments depending on the amount you ask for. So I don't know if we're gonna have all of the necessary 3,000 in the first go.
Yeah, let's see that we win first of all. Hopefully, yes. It's 5,000, I think, in the first. Get 5,000.
Sorry, Yoram, I think your mic is up. Can't hear you.
Sorry. No, so I'm saying it's $5,000 normally, the first payment. So that can be used. I don't know if it will be 3,000 ADAs, but it will be today, yes. Let's see in a few weeks.
Okay, we have, I think, well, we have 20 more minutes, right? And I think we didn't touch two of the topics, which, and please correct me if I'm wrong, which is social engagement and Catalyst voting. So do we want to start, which one do we want to start with, Chen? What do you think?
Yeah, we can talk about Catalyst voting.
All right.
So do we need to prepare anything, or shall we announce it on the social sites? And also, Simon, can you close the presentation so we can see each other? Great.
Yeah, for me, the big question here, if anyone knows, is how do we get to the voters? I mean, we speak about 50,000 wallets. In the meeting in town hall, we have 100 people, 150. In the CA blockchain, we have CA Telegram, we have 1,000 people. How do we get to the big wallets? That's the question.
Can we have another one pager in 1 or 2 days so we can say it? Let's vote for Littlefish.
Yeah.
Shall we?
And I want to remind that Mihaela is going to offer the support, so we should turn back to her. And she was already expecting to hear something from us. So if you prepare this one pager and make it clear for her how she can support, then she will do. I'm sure that. She wrote a comment on my LinkedIn message post saying that, oh, this is a lifetime project for me. I'm definitely with you. So she is with us. I feel like I can rely on her.
So I've just looked at the ranking and the available amounts. We have 500K in the challenge, and I think we're well prepared to be within those 500K. There's 100, 200, like maybe 350K before us, and that doesn't take into account that we get some filtered out. I think we should do pretty well, and if we publish it on Telegram, maybe one more time, and I don't know. I didn't really get what the one pager was, Jen. What was the one page about?
Yeah, we will send it to the voters. So we will explain Littlefish, and let's vote for Littlefish in Catalyst. Shall we do it?
Sounds good. Let's put it on the Cardano for climate as well on the Telegram.
Let's do it now, just like Yoram said.
And then we can also add it in our comments on all our proposals in idea scale. you know, that it'd be nice to be able to connect all the different proposals.
Mhm.
And I
People-
think, no, sorry.
Go ahead.
Sorry,
Go
sorry,
ahead,
no,
Yoram.
no, sorry, no, no.
Um,
Please. Melanie, I cut you, sorry.
That's good. I was finished.
Okay.
But yeah, if we could connect the proposals, I know we can do it through Cardano for Climate when you see that as one of the proposers, but it might just be another reinforcement that these
And-
are all interconnected. These are trusted.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
are a group.
Can we put
community
that
around.
into action? Because I don't think we need to do it right now because like the time is valuable. We've got another 15 minutes and we have one more topic. So who would like to do that?
We can
Mm,
also
I-
work on it through Telegram or Discord and send out a document and we can co-create and work on that one. That'd be great.
Okay, okay,
I'm
I
in.
will create it. I will
Great.
create it
Oh,
and
perfect.
share with you. Okay.
So what was the last topic?
The last topic is social engagement, and
Yes.
how can we do that? Because
Yeah, I have an idea around that, and I think it boils down to simplicity again of the message. How we explain in a very simple way. And through this conversation today, I think I have an interesting thing to share with you. I think what Littlefish is, in the end, it provides a platform for actionable projects from the ground to be presented, to be vetted, and to have a framework of following the impact.
Mhm.
Right? This is what Littlefish is. So it's a platform for
Yeah.
projects that can come and be there. And it's then open to anyone from the community and outside the community that wants to donate or from a stake pool the rewards or donate the treasury directly to these projects. So it's just like Kiva in this sense that it's much more decentralized in the sense that the people give directly to the projects and the projects have come directly to the platform through a trusted process, okay, that we are building. So Littlefish is a place that you can come and donate for trusted projects directly. It can be, by the way, Very Tree as a project, or it can be any other project coming through the vetted process, i.e. have a community member vetting for the project and different processes that we put. But this is what Littlefish is. Does it make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
You're right. We should keep it very, very, very simple.
Very simple and scalable. I mean, you can have
Yeah, yeah.
million projects there, right? You can have 10,000
Yeah.
projects there, and then people come and donate to the project they prefer.
Mhm.
And we need to make sure as a platform that the projects are vetted, that there is a clear impact measurement, all of these things. This is our platform responsibility. And then people is coming and donating or lending or whatever we decide to the project they. That's what Littlefish is. So we welcome projects to come on board, and we welcome projects to people to come and donate to projects.
Okay.
That makes sense?
Yes.
I think so, yes.
Projects for this round are closed, right? They close
Yes.
today.
Yeah, but also in the future mindset, projects will not be closed, right? Unless they want to close. Projects can come on board all the time and add to the platform, and people can come
Yeah.
and donate anytime.
Exactly. So there will be two types. One stake, and the other one is donate. So the staking scheme will be like recurring.
Yeah.
And the donation part will be one time.
Yeah, you can choose to do recurring, but it's more complex for us to set it. It's not a bank transfer or something to the right.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's a ADA transfer. So maybe we send you
Yeah.
a reminder if you want. Sorry.
I don't think you can do recurrent with ADA alone. We need to integrate something like AutoPay like a platform. That's kind of complicated.
Yeah, it will start simple, and then if we see that, then we can have.
Yeah, we will see.
And if we think it like this, we really need to build a platform to onboard projects, and then as many projects we can to upload, and at the same time build a platform to, for people to communicate to me. If you want to come and donate, come here to donate. Because in this case, we can promote it to all the SPOs that are looking for projects to donate to, right? The rewards. There's a lot of SPOs like this.
Yeah.
So social media, is that right, Simon? The last, how are we promoting this? Is that the last agenda item?
Yeah, it is.
I'm
Yes.
wondering if Cardano for Climate should be doing another after town hall for the next 3 weeks to promote different projects. Be great to have a slideshow. Jem, you started something like that, didn't we? Where
Yes.
every project that we're supporting has a slide in this, and if we could, work on that for the after town hall. 5 minutes of the first part of it, and then whoever shows up gets a chance, 5 minutes to promote their project. I'm game for doing that for the next 3 weeks after town hall.
Yeah, great idea.
Okay.
Okay.
So that includes the slideshow. Does that exist? And if it does, where is it?
No, it was an idea that we didn't develop on this. I think we started that and then it fell. It's something that we didn't.
It began. Let's see if we've got something started, and if we can build on it a little bit by little bit and just keep working with it. I like that idea because then we have all the information in one place. We can share the link to the slideshow. It's got all the links to idea scale. Basically little one pagers, one slide for every little project that we support. It's like going through the Sunday comics.
Okay, we should start it from Cardano for Climate, and let's start a slide. And,
put the first slide, Littlefish.
Yeah.
And then we put in Cardano for Climate, everyone that wants to add a project, add one slide.
Okay. I will start it and share with you on Cardano for Climate channel.
Yeah.
Perfect. And then we also have the list, sorry, it's Cardano for Climate. We have the list of different proposals. I'm going to take that off this conversation. It's not part of it.
No, but this is a great idea because if we do it fast and we have 10, 20 projects, then we ask all the projects on the platform to send it through their LinkedIn, through their all the challenge, and then we have kind of a group of 20 projects promoting each other for voting.
Perfect, because we can also promote the slide deck.
Yeah.
The link to the slide deck can go in the comments of Idea Scale. All the different projects connected, and then the voter. Yeah, the voter has an easy. They click on this. Oh my God! Look at this project. One slide, fantastic. There's my votes. There's my votes. Simple.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we say in the beginning, the first slide will be all these projects are related for impact on the Cardano blockchain and so on, and then we promote that. And then if we will promote it obviously within IOG as well, and if we can promote it to Imargo, it will be incredible, and to the Cardano Foundation. That will give us a lot of good voting power, I think.
So logistics on that, Simon, can you sign us up for an after town hall breakout room, or should I go ahead with that? You'll do it?
I can do that, yeah, sure.
Okay. And anybody want to host it? I'll host it by default.
I can be there, yeah. You're nicer than me, I kick off people.
I cut people off.
But you're still nicer than me, so.
If I was to send in more numbers, like if we scale up the project, this is the benefit that will come. would you all be able to add it to the spreadsheet? Because I think Yoram or someone said at the beginning, or was it Dan? I can't remember who said, but if we had detailed information, that would be useful for people to understand the project. So then I typed out a whole bunch of details and I sent it to you all. I went to the document, but I couldn't edit it. So if you all can add it to that. But if you all want further like scaled up numbers, like if I get 5,000 ADA, what will I do? 10,000, so on and so forth, I can, but I just want to know whom I should send that information to.
Would it be simplest just to send in a new form, Jim?
Yeah, sure.
Just send in a new form, Dimitri, for now. I think that if I'm correct, in a Google form, you can ask for a copy to your email, and I believe you can edit your proposal from there, unless there's something on the Google form that whoever created it has changed. But typically you can edit your own form through your email link. That's what I've learned.
So that means from the email thing that I sent in, and it sent me a copy of that, I can edit the original.
I believe
form
you
as
can.
well.
Just check your email and you might be able to edit it that way. Don't quote me on
Okay,
it.
thanks. I'll do that.
I know it's recorded, but don't quote me on it.
Yeah, otherwise, I mean, you put
I
here
won't-
the information, yeah.
Otherwise, plan B is just send in a new proposal. And as far as our promotion right now, Dimitri, I know you missed Fund 7 for the proposals. It's something different. These slides that we're doing, just to be clear, is going to be on Fund 7 proposals because we're right in the middle of voting for them.
Yeah, it's the 13th, the voting starts in 3 days, right? So we definitely need to have it for this town hall, I mean, and start promoting it. That's really a top priority.
Yeah.
So Jem, you're working on this slide or slide deck, you're starting it, and then we will add to that?
Yeah, I will. I will create the one pager and slides. I will
One
share
slide.
it. Then yeah.
Okay, and
I
then
can do it
from there, we can all share it with whatever social media we're on, through the Telegram, Cardano for Climate Telegram and Discord. That's going to be promoting Littlefish as well through that slide deck.
I remember who opened it, Jacob opened it, actually.
So
yeah, sorry.
Will that help with this funding round though? Because that's another separate one. We want funding in by January 17th. This slide deck is specifically on Fund 7 proposals for that end. We're also talking about promoting Littlefish now for putting in your proposal. Proposal cutoff is already today. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so now until the 17th, I believe, is donation to this.
Yes.
Okay. And that's going to be another one pager.
Yes.
Okay.
And we will also send it to Mihaila. So we should expect something catalyst voting, both for donations and catalyst voting.
And
Yeah,
can you link something to that in the slide that you put in for the Cardano for Climate?
Yeah, sure.
Slide deck?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Oh.
Okay, everyone, I'm sorry, I have to leave now. I have another meeting in 3 minutes.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. So we finished the agenda. Yeah, we can close the session right now.
We can celebrate.
Yeah.
And as usual, we know that we're going to get this done. So thank you all. This has been great. Thank you, Simon, for recording like usual. Shakan standing in the background. Huskar doing the Miro board. Sebastian doing whatever he's doing there. Tyler listening in. Keith lurking for now. Soon we'll get him talking and asking questions. But this has been great.
Yeah.
Again, good way to start a Monday morning for me.
Excellent.
Finish on Monday.
Yeah, it's 2 a.m. in the morning, so time to wrap up for me.
Okay, good night, Dimitri. Get some sleep before you get to work.
Good night.